I'm excited. Preseason, it is the best time. We can't miss this opportunity to watch Mike McCarthy run his offense again. A year off. We're going to bring back the Mike McCarthy offense for Madden. If you guys are fans of it, we're going to bring it back. It's probably going to be my primary offense going into the NFL season. He has Schottenheimer's offense. We have Schottenheimer's offense, I should say, who still is out there running it well in Dallas. The reason why I'm excited about this, just like JTO, you watch his videos, JTO Sullivan, my intro into the NFL was with this offense, okay? Packers, Jets, both those coaches. So now we get a chance to like see how it evolves going into the year 2026. I know personally from watching the Cowboys the past couple of years when it was Mike McCarthy and Schottenheimer, they used Dak Prescott's legs a little bit, used a little bit of that college option type of stuff, read option, just to kind of complement the main offense. But it's going to be interesting now that we have Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy back together. We're going to probably see a more traditional under center offense that we might have remembered back in 2010, 2009, when the Packers were just coming up underneath those two men. So let's just jump into the tape. Preseason is always a great time to watch basic football. You know what I mean? And we're going to get a chance to just talk about it. So this is going to be more of a slow down approach here. We have like the first two series, if I'm not mistaken, maybe the first three. We start with a little toss play. We won't talk much about the run. We just kind of highlight it as we go. What we're looking for here are the formations that they're giving us, the things that we're seeing. So I formation slot gets to a strong, runs a little toss. It looks like it's just straight outside zone blocking. Nobody was pulling, so it's really just a toss zone. 21 looks like a pretty good back, man. Reminds me of like Ryan Clark back in the day. Has the same kind of body build, strong, but like agile at the same time. Going to be a little bit of a bell cow maybe situation. I'm not a fan of the team, so you guys who are fans of the teams, let me know. A lot of times I don't really study what's been going on until I start watching tape because I don't want any bias to come out of my viewpoint of what's going on, okay? And I'm going to be a little rusty here when it comes to the actual route concept. So let's go back on that one, all right? That one looked pretty interesting. So, oops, sorry. Play. Forgot that I don't have a clicker here. We're good to go though. So yeah, we get kind of just like a dagger concept, but it's with that. What you've heard me say it before, they have like things where they use something called, they have like knife and sword and things like that nature. Um, they have a route called kind of like a beeline route. If you want to go back and watch some of the videos that I had on this offense, when I did the install like 2 years ago, nothing's going to change. That's the great thing about good football coaches and schemes. It's the same thing, right? Just a little bit of tweaks. Now, this route here could be number one. This could be number two. This could be in the category of a dagger or some sort of route that's similar to that. And we're probably going to get somebody high-low and probably going to get an individual out here. And I do believe it's off of play action. All right. So we do have this, and you've seen this concept in Madden a good amount. Let's just take a look at it here. And again, it could be potentially high-low situation between the tight end and the guy going across the field. So take a look at this. Get these lines off the screen. I'm rusty. It's preseason for me too. So let's just keep it moving. I can't really scroll back and forth right now, so it's going to be a little more like jump ahead and go back 5 seconds. Yeah, the pressure got to him. Good concept. They were playing man-to-man coverage. I do have a list of maybe what the coverages are. Give me a second here. That looked like cover one, actually. They brought 5-man pressure, just played cover one. If you're looking at it you want to look at Green Bay's Green Bay's defense, pretty sure they're going to use a lot of what they did last year. This is a good way to start. This is very interesting this is what they're doing right at the beginning of the year. Defensively, they're going to give you a double mug. So you got a backer here, backer here. Okay. They're going to have their down lineman, 2, 3. This is probably an edge player. It could be another guy. And then this right here is the free safety up. Okay. And a lot of teams call that FUP, right? So it gives you that look of that seventh player who could be blitzing off the edge. And something interesting that they're doing is they're taking the nickel and actually making him look like he's coming as well. Like his stance and everything is very interesting to see that. So this is just something interesting. They're going to show this all up look, pretty much single high. Probably coming a lot from maybe taking a little bit from maybe they did this last year, but taking a little bit what the Vikings probably are doing. Got to call out protections. They're going through all the answers. Looks like the running back took the first guy coming through, the first linebacker. So he was responsible for right here. Looks like we got a slide. We got a man side over here, and then the free player is going to be the free safety who does blitz. So this is a very interesting. This is a very good picture to see what they're doing on defense. It looks like some sort of rotational zone. Not quite sure, but this corner, I'm not sure if he's bailing. But we're definitely getting here, getting somebody here, and we're getting here. Okay, so it could be 3 under 3 deep, right? And that 3 deep could be maybe a rotational defense where maybe he's going to half field. Okay, I'm not quite sure. There's no threat on this side really for this player because this guy stayed in. So I'm not sure what he's doing. He could be kind of like visioning this zone right here. Could be a version of quarters, but it's not important. The most important thing for the offense is that they have an answer for this. So this guy's coming free. Looks like he just ran a little out breaking route and he just gave it to him right there. Let's see what the concept is. If it's just what I call a 2 PO, 2 press out, 1 vertical, we'll see what happens here. And oh, film got a little choppy. Give me a second here. Back on that. Yeah, I mean, this actually looks like a coordinated play. Like, look at the receiver at the top. He is absolutely in blocking mode, and he's just running out here. So he's not going to put hands on him until he catches the ball, but you can see his body intentions. Like this is an answer to the test for them. I do believe it's max protection, and they just threw the ball out there. So it's third down. They kind of played give up football. They know that they're not going to. Mike McCarthy's been pretty good at that. Like he's not going to be the type of person to just push the ball down the field for no reason. You're going to give me this. I'm going to try to catch the ball and try to run for that first down. I think that's smart, especially in the preseason. See what you can get. Corner must have played that really well because he actually made this play. He kept him outside, and then the rest of the players were inside out. So good job by the corner. So that's probably the first series. They're going to punt the ball. So we're going to skip ahead. Okay. So this would be the second series. So they come out, they motion. Big thing you're going to see in the NFL, you're going to hear me talk about this a lot. And this is something that even players in our Madden game do. They came out in some sort of like kind of a cluster ish type of set. But we have a receiver here who goes in motion. We have another one here. I'm assuming it's 11 personnel. And then we have our tight end. Motions across gets to a 2x2. So they went from a bunch to a stack look, okay? Like a tight doubles type of look. And on first down, you're going to see this route concept. They're pretty much going to run a spacing concept. I'm not sure exactly who runs where, but we get a flat there, I think, and then we're probably going to get some sort of spacing where we get this here. He sits down and he sits down here. Great play on first and second down. Most teams on defense are playing quarters or cover 3, and you should be able to get an opening against both those coverages if you run it right. You can see on defense, they're showing that single high presentation, but watch what they do. They actually get to cover 4. Very late drop here, but this is quarters. Let me just write on the screen real quick. We got ourselves a quarter player here, quarter player here, quarter player here, quarter player here. Okay. So in general, this is going to be this route concept. If I see it correctly, this may not be the right concept that I see. They should have an outside breaking route somewhere here, and it could be open. The spacing concept, if it's done correctly, it should be open at the top as well against this coverage. But let me just take a look because it actually may not be spacing. I might be wrong here. The way it looks right now, it doesn't look like it's about to become spacing. It was not. It's a very interesting concept up top. Let me see this real quick. It's spot. It's just spot 7, but it's the swirl route, which is a big part of today's football. So what you're getting is spot guy sits down, back gets out. We get the 7, right? Very easy concept. Um, what we're going to get is that come back here with the inside guy turning back outside as another option. So instead of him just running off of coverage, he can be a good option for you there. All right, so I don't think he went that side. I don't think he went to that side with the ball. But again, if we're doing that, that's pretty much mostly just a horizontal read on your flat defender and your danger player. Again, here, this guy comes in and plays the sit down route, so he would have to pull back away. On the backside of this, which is where the ball actually went, it looks like an option route. So we get an option route. So they did not run what I thought. I thought they were running quick game. The guy in motion off the ball is usually the option guy. Okay. So he's going to run something short. He's going to sit down. He's either going to run out. He's going to sit down. Or he might have a slant to win if there's something there. This guy looks like he ran a 7, but he could have also swirled it at the top. Let's see what happens here. Spending a lot of time on this route concept, but this is interesting. I mean, this is day one entry, day one what they wanted. That outbreaking route. We really just ran a regular corner. So it looks like they're playing a version of match style defense here, match quarters. So the quarterfinal defender has him. I think I would have, he's inside leverage. I'm not kind of surprised he didn't go outside. I think that would be the coaching point. He chose to go inside, and that could have been holding, in my opinion, but the ball's not gone. So that's the side they were looking at here. That is absolutely the side. And I think maybe the disguise, I would say this disguise could have got the quarterback if he's working and pick a side situation. Maybe he's thinking, all right, versus single high, I'm going to go to the bottom of the screen. But interesting. I'm not quite sure what the reads are there. I got to ask some of the offensive guys. And JTO, I'm sure he's broken this down already by now. Let's keep it moving. Got that. All right. You got a 4-down defense. The good old trips formation, huge formation, basically Trey open and Madden back weak. Get a little checks here. All right. Great combo. Not sure if he actually called it, but this is like a Salem combination, right? So we're going to see here at the bottom of the screen, we're going to get this little sit down route right here, and he's just going to wrap around. Okay. This is going to be quarters defense. So quarters coverage. You're going to see now that our quarter flat defender, right? He's going to sit there. He's going to be in this window, but really we're working off the 3-rack. The 3-rack is going to play hard. You got the guy on top. It's a high low. If he sinks back, then you can work this right underneath there. So looks like they were playing quarters in this coverage, if I'm not mistaken. Press quarters on the backside could be a version of like, yep, that's definitely quarters. Never mind. He's playing Meg at the top. But watch the 3-rack. He's the one that's in a bind. He plays low. He takes the cheese. You throw it right over the top. Safeties are not playing this defense aggressive quarter style. They're playing more of a soft quarters. Watch the safety here at the bottom. He's at about 15 yards. And he's going to probably pedal. Oh, he's soft shoeing, but still, he's way too much space. This is the area that if teams are going to start playing this quarters coverage like this, and it's just either this player on the backside is going to have to sprint over there, but this is the downside of playing it like this. Seattle, not to get into another defense, won't necessarily take the 3-rack and like jump this. He would sit more back here, play more like a vision zone, and react a little bit slower to kind of take away that window. If you want to throw the check down all day, go ahead. You know what I mean? So very interesting route concept. Backside just had like a little bit of a bang post to look like, more like a slant. Good throw, good catch, good tackle. First down though. They got the hug player with the weak side quarter flat there on the backside. So all right, watch 59 again. Is it 2-man? Is it quarters? It's in that same family. He's just hugging him up right now. Basically, hugging him up means I'm gonna go get him. I pretty much have this guy man to man. All right, 1st and 10. Give a little another double mug look, double mug flop. Double mug flop with the nickel also showing it. They're going through their check system. A little quick cheat motion to get to a drive type of concept. Outside in. I like this. This is something that would definitely be in our game. I think this is a good way to get off of man coverage if you're worried about man. Motion this guy out, make him run the underneath shallow. Got the dig. They kind of went with a double dig here on the backside. I'm not sure what this individual route was back here. I didn't see it. But from a protection standpoint, they had him block this guy, right? They did a slide out here. We go two man. I'm not quite sure. Again, I'm thinking he's thinking like, hey, side adjust hot if this guy comes. That would be the answer. But let's see if they actually change the protection. I kind of didn't look at it. I'm kind of assuming that's what happened here. That's what happened the last time. Okay, the back was checking in. They actually dropped out, right? They're playing basically cover three, or cover three sky. So there we go. Cover three sky. Everything's set. Um, Linebackers are definitely playing more down. They're playing underneath. So he took the second read. We got the back checking out over there, but he threw the dig. And that dig is a very kind of a sloppy dig, but he almost kind of got up feel a little bit, ran almost like a post, but he's open. This is equivalent to like a team playing aggressive in our game, and Madden. Like he's coming down, boom, aggressive, and now he got the opening behind it. This 15-yard dig is something that you got to start looking at in our game. And maybe it's not a dig, maybe it's a post, maybe it's a deep crosser, whatever gets the separation, gets there quickly. Something you got to take a look at. But very easy concept, drive concept, but just built out of a little bit of a different formation look. Take a look at this one time here to go to the next play. Good job by Mason staying in the pocket. I mean, that's a long time to wait for that route to develop, man. You don't want to live on that all day, I'll be honest with you. That is not where you want to make your money. But again, good concept, good versus all coverages. Next down distance. Love the tight bunch formation, kind of that cluster type of look. Gonna run duo. We're gonna get a missed block on the 5 technique. Looks like they were in some sort of odd front. Backers are moved over. Or is that a safety? What is going on here? This is actually just it's a penny front. Didn't notice what was going on here. Safety came on down and came on down and basically blitzed. Is this a safety or a backer? I don't even know. I'm not sure if they're playing a 3-high system here, but he rips inside. They got a little stunnage going on. Kind of messes up the blocking scheme. 60 went after the blitzer. 15 was probably thinking, I got him right here. And then they leave this D lineman alone. So look at it again. Again, it's duo. So duo is just, we're going to block the gap down, work the double teams. All right. So get back on the screen here. Down, right? Here, step down and take the first thing. I'm not sure exactly what he's taught here in this situation, but I'm thinking he might be actually looking to insert on somebody here. I'm not quite sure why they would do it like that. Okay. So that's just something that I'm not abreast of with how they're doing it. But he's probably thinking, I got this guy. Then they kind of switch it up. Or he's the one that came down. He's thinking, I got this guy. He was thinking the same thing. So unfortunately, they actually just ran and looked like a good defense. We'll take a look at this throughout the season. This could be something a little bit of a duo buster. Interesting. O-line coaches can talk to me about how that would be handled. Sure, there's an answer on the chalkboard, but when pieces are moving, it's kind of hard to get lined up and do it right. Yeah, I'm thinking 15 is an insert player, and he's thinking about like how the Rams do it. He's probably inserting on the first backer, strong side backer to his side, right? I'm thinking that's what it is. Because 74 is looking at 58. Yeah, that's a real tough situation. What do you do there? That is a tough situation. All right, keep it moving. I do believe I don't know what the coverage was in that last one. It's not that important right now. Wide over. They're gonna motion down to a Z close, and they run a quick game at the bottom. Okay, so we're gonna get just good old dragon concept, right? Slant flat. Good versus one high. Good versus rotation down this way. Okay. But if it's there, it could be good versus quarters as well. Okay. Depending on like if this guy's gonna work outside and this is your next danger player, shoot, throw it in there. He's gotta watch out for the safety. Not sure what we get at the top of the screen. I think we get some sort of 3-man route combo. Could be spacing. Yeah, it looks like a version of kind of spacing there. So it looks like we might be working front side here to the right, no matter what, then coming back to the spacing last. This corner actually looks like he is kind of squatting. Interesting. But again, free access. Throw the work off the flat defender, throw away from him. We're not sure if this is the flat defender, but right now he's got him beat. This corner is so deep that even if he did try to transition down, he's probably not gonna make a play. A little bit of it's actually a little bit of a hold. QB coaches might coach this up. Actually, he's looking for the inside, looking inside, and then he goes to the outside. Corner bailed back. So again, is his quarters? Is it soft two? I don't think it's soft two. I think that would have been a great opportunity for the corners to play this. I think it's just regular quarters. It's hard to tell with the corners kind of playing playing in the half turn, shuffling. Not quite sure exactly what it is, but good throw, good decisive catch by the vet. 17 breaks a tackle, almost goes further. Good job. Let's go to the next one. Again, easy football. We'll see how much this is going to carry over when Aaron Rodgers plays next week. If he even plays, who knows? He may not. They're going to have their practices against each other. These starters may not even play any preseason games. They may just be in practice. We get motion, get a penalty. Okay. 3-by-1 again. Tray open. We get a little draw play to play against that soft quarters look again. A little draw play action. Easy run against the even front. These guys look tired, man. They look like they've had a hard camp so far. Game speed looks slow. All right, let's go to the next one. 2nd and 4. Little bunch set. Another duo play. They run it now again. So we can already see that duo is going to be a big play for them. Standard over front, 4-2 over. Okay. Looks like cover one. You got safeties down here, nickels down here, safeties down here. This is the other safety. Geez, they're playing this really tight. Surprised they're playing that damn tight. All right. Maybe it's because they know it's going to be a run. So again, from a standpoint of blocking down with this situation, these two guys will work here up to here. These two guys will work to here. Okay. He's going to step down and probably work his way out. He's going to have to get to him and he's going to work maybe to him, or maybe there might be a little bit of a switch. Right. I do know that these running backs, they're coming down. I do believe they're reading the first inside backer. He's going to have to make a decision. He's either going to try to step in this gap or he's going to just kind of hang here. Here go opposite of him. Okay. So let's see how it looks. I'll kind of pause it. There goes the double teams. You get a little bit of a game happening here. This could actually be a pressure. So he's going into this gap. He's coming here. So teams are not just sitting there. They're moving. They're stunting their guys against this run play. That should be a penalty. Hand in the neck. Backer step down, but we still have a good solid wall here. And if he's reading this guy, he's playing soft. So I would think that he's just probably going to put his head up there and keep it to the left. Actually, went to the right. Le'Veon Bell rating is the best. I'm not an expert of this. Everybody did what I said on the right hand side pretty well. So there's a little bit of space right there, and he tries to get in there. Gets a couple yards. Watch it one more time here. It's regular motion. So a little stuntage there with that front. I do like what they did there. A little blitz maybe. All right. 1st and 10. I guess that was a first down. 11 personnel looks like. We're going to get a little bit of an over front. Single high look. Looks like cover 3. Routes. Let's get some what I call individual routes. So the top of the screen, we're going to get maybe an option route. Not quite sure. He can either probably go vertical, but he sits down right here. Maybe he's reading the coverage. If it was actually cover 3, he probably would have kept on going. So that's probably designed. We get a little bit of a comeback or a hinge route, they call it, at the top. Didn't see the bottom of the screen, but the ball doesn't go there right now, so we just focus on the top. Oops. All right, let's go. Yeah, it's just verticals. Actually, there was a little bit of a dagger look there. It's a very interesting route. I think this is something that I remember Kurt Warner, I think, talking about. I don't know what this is. If this is a slant or get open, it's a very interesting route because it actually looks like we're running like a lion concept at the bottom, and that's where the quarterback starts. I remember Dak doing this. He's working off to the inside shoulder, trying to get inside that hook defender, and he's kind of running like this slant, but it's not like a hardcore like 1, 2, 3. It's like a get open type of slant, and he's looking over there. So we're reading this defender, right? If he stays inside, I'm pretty sure he's not going to throw it. If he was to expand out, that would have been right there. Okay. Um, doesn't get that look. That's why he goes from 1, he looks over here, just kind of goes through his progression to 3, and goes all the way back out to 4. Very interesting call. Because I do believe, I guess if they were in some sort of cover 1 and had this covered, you would think the comeback would be a last option. Very rarely you see players do this, especially guys who aren't the best quarterbacks, but that's a lot of reading. That looks like a Tom Brady type of full field read. But that's good protection, stays in the pocket, throws a really tough ball, goes all the way to the other side. Let me go back to what happened here, though. The original read, why did it get murky? Why did it get muddy? Yeah, this route is just really tough to just trust. He would have had to really trust it, and he had it, but it would have been, it's a really small window. Maybe the quarterback coach is telling him to hold on to that. And that was actually third down, huh? Third and short. So they probably anticipated a blitz or something. But go watch Mason go through his progression, man. This is pretty neat. Pretty good. Good job holding in the pocket, not backing up too far, stays square, opens up his hips, throws it out there. Love it. And love offense too, guys. All right, here we go. Let's go to the next one. All right. 2 by 2, kind of a tight doubles type of formation. Get a good little red zone play. Looks like we're running a version of like a post wheel at the top here. Horrible drawing there. Apologize. There, swing out there. Probably some sort of sit down here, maybe a high low, or maybe just a corner. That probably make more sense. Trying to take a shot here. Defense looks like they gave us a version of cover 4. Looks like they started in a 1 high shell. But that's a very suspect 1 high shell. This doesn't look like anything like it's going to be 1 high. They get to a quarters look. More of a true soft zone quarters, right? It's interesting how the safety's eyes are over here and the quarterback's looking on this side of the field, but whatever. Like this route here is open, in my opinion. And it's not a true post. It's like a sit down kind of get open route. But he went through his progression. I think he's just thinking, in my personal opinion, I don't think that post was ever really an option. Once he saw that it was split safety, it was like, all right, that's dead. Let me see if I can get this wheel, throw it to the back. They're all playing soft. Great transition by the defense, man. Look at this. These guys played this conservative, stayed back in the windows, right? Look at this. Look at 41. Look at this linebacker, right? Was able to put their foot in the ground and come downhill and vice tackle this bad boy. That is excellent. That's excellent. 2 yard gain, and you guys were playing deep to short. That's really good football. Maybe Mason should go through his progression a little faster, give the running back a little more time, but that's good football right there from a defensive standpoint. 21 looks like Ryan Grant so much to me, man. That looks like exactly like Ryan Grant. That's like his clone. Coaches do that. They get players like sometimes I don't know if this guy's a rookie or not, but where he came from, I don't know who he is. Don't get upset. I told you I do that for a reason now. I don't want to know about some players. Some guys I can't help, but I want to judge them through my lens, through my scouting lens. Okay, let's go to this next one here. We got a little motion. They were in 12 personnel. Motion to tight end over. That's a little scramble play. This is a great example of this is a busted route at the top. Not sure what's going on here. Got two guys standing in the same spot up here. But down here, whatever the route was, we're going to get a scramble drill conversion here with the quarterback at the bottom. So he's looking up there. Somebody's probably supposed to be going out in a stick combo. We're not getting that. This is absolutely like a quick game. So this is another stick combo at the bottom. Kind of wish Mason would have started down here, but that's not what he was told to do. Comes back around, scrambles. Look at the receiver. Once he hits scramble, watch the receiver. Goes up the field, right? He scrambles up the field. That's going to make the corner go back, and then he's going to come back, sit down right at the sticks. Beautiful. That's a really good way to run that scramble drill. That's determined. That's predetermined to do that sometimes. Okay, and that's just a really good thing to do. Number 80 is such a big tight end. I remember him from last year. He's such a lumbering guy, though. I'm pretty sure that's the guy who's in the second or third year. He doesn't have great foot movement, but he's a good blocker, I guess. Good big body. All right, we got ourselves, I think, a first down there. We get ourselves what we used to call a Woody boot, front side boot. Good play call. This is something that McCarthy likes to do. He likes to throw in these little boots out of these plays. Works exactly like kind of off of they work in the duo action, right? Just throw it to the running back. The flat defender really has no chance here. Good red zone call. That was actually third down right here. It's a good call on third down. We get to the end of the series. I believe they go into about a couple plays here in the red zone, and we'll wrap it up. A lot of plays in the red zone, actually. And it's actually pretty good defense overall. All right. Looks like they run a version of what is this? It just looks like ISO, just straight up ISO blocking. The one thing McCarthy does is he reverse pivots his quarterbacks out of the pocket, so it kind of makes it an illusion that the ball's going one way. But this run is set to go to the left. I don't know if this is actually dual to the left. I don't think it is. It could technically kind of be. Not sure. But there's a holding call on this play, so this doesn't go for a touchdown. You see here number 80 at the bottom. I think he kind of just dominated 45, but on the right hand side. But I think he actually gets his hands outside right there, and then kind of tosses him to the ground when he tries to get off. So you can't do that. Get your hands inside and run your feet. You might be able to get away with it and fall on top of him, but you can't just do that. All right, they go with a little strong formation here. Again, the backside slant. It almost seems like this is predetermined. Front side is probably running like a spot concept to work off of that. Yep. This is something that they probably see on film. I mean, look at this receiver work the hell out of this corner. Corner's playing soft shoe at the top, trying to stay on top for the first 5 yards, and then comes back in and works it on him. That's really good. Over the top. Something to think about. Yep. All right. So, uh, 1, 2, 3. Sit on it. Hold it. Give him time to work. Good job. I love this formation down here so far. I got another like bunch formation. Make the motion. We're gonna run good old school power. I love this. This is very creative. This one does go for a good gain. Good job by the corner. So they come out. I think it's still 12 personnel. Take a look. Nope, 11. But they motion 37 down. I don't know who 37 is actually. He kind of kicks out. They run traditional power. There's nothing there. Good job by the defense. Good vision by the quarterback, but didn't quite get him there. It's good to see power. This is definitely, they're probably going through their playbook and the players that are in there. Are they going to be a power team? Are they going to be a duo team? They're similar runs, but they're just working on both of them. Here we go. We're down here in a 2x2. We get kind of that double stack type of look. Tight ends really kind of more of a wing. Yeah, this is not the best route concept in my opinion. I'm not quite sure what this is again. 17 runs across the field. It's almost like a pick route, but he's not even looking at him. Yeah, it's like they're trying to run like a stick concept to 80. 14 literally almost pushes this guy off. Mason doesn't take it over here. I'm looking over here. I apologize. Drop the screen. He's running like a little hitch, and he's kind of running like a little out. I don't know. Right now, do you trust that? I think I would. If I trust my arm, I'm taking that throw right now. Let me see what would happen if I did. Nope, it would have been picked. And also the way 80's running his route, it's like he's looking for the ball right now. He's not looking for it like he's running a route. He's running more like almost a swing or back shoulder. So good job by Mason not taking it. Goes to the rest of his progression. Not quite sure again what the routes were. Now they kind of go into scramble mode. Mason's moving around. Mason's moving around. Helmets are falling off. Throws to the back of the end zone. Not going to be a touchdown. Got 1 foot in. Sorry to break it to you. But anyway, Mason, interesting. I think down here in the red zone, you got to be careful. But also, if it is like a third down, which I don't think it is, you try to extend this. You try to make a play, right? And he did that. A little bit of agility. Good job by him. He got become. But I think that's a little bit too much to do. I think he could have probably just maybe this play was kind of dead. It wasn't a great design play down there. All right, let's see here. At least that's my opinion. Z close. Kind of got a bunch like formation at the bottom. Did they go with the option route? This is actually the last play. I think they go for it. This is 4th down. They kind of run the same route, but he runs it much better. He actually runs it like a true route. Ball's thrown early, trusted it. This is just a little bit too short. Top of the screen, probably just getting a little pick route combo up there. Yep. Again, slant flat, but it's more like an inside fade, but they're going to make it look like that. It's really just to throw it there. Could you have thrown that ball down there? Let me see. Boom. I would have took this all day, every day. But I guess you trust Firemouth, whatever, for your mouth to go make a play. All right. Well, I think that's it for now. I do believe that was the last play there. Yeah, it is. So that was a quick. That was quick. We went through that pretty slow, but I'll say it looks like he is running his personality plays that I know is the vertical route concepts. He likes throwing those comebacks, some isolated, like he likes option routes as well. Quick game is always going to be a part of their game. I do believe if you trust what you see and you could throw some slants and flats, those are pretty good. The over route concept is still part of his game as well. So, and those Salems, those type of high low concepts are a big part of it. I forgot what he calls it. I'll go back and find out. But you got the run game. It looks like we're going to be a power team. We, as in, I'm not a Steelers fan, but it looks like that's what he's thinking. So, good job. The Packers defense did a nice job with some stunts up front, with some blitzes, some twists, some like guys moving around to kind of mess up some of the gap scheme. I like that. That showed up pretty good. And they do some decent disguises. They show some single high, get to too high. So to do that in the preseason, that's pretty cool. So big fan of that. So we'll watch these teams some more later on, but this is a good little intro for week 1. This offense, when we see how the Cowboys play, I might watch that and let you guys know. And then later on, we'll still look at the Niners and we'll look at the Rams and see what we can get from them. If we can use them this year, it'd be really cool, but I'm not 100% sure. It's going to be hard for me to really be hardcore playing this year in that style. Even though we've been studying it for like 2 to 3 years, just not quite sure the route concepts are exactly what I feel comfortable with. You know what I mean? That's just my personal opinion. All right, man. I'll talk to you guys later.